Welcome to Babylon 5.
Zappers knew you would come.
I think I'll stick my head in the station's fusion plant, but
You've lost much, endured much, sacrificed greatly.
Life's full of mysteries. Consider this one of them.
We are in the process of building the future.
Rangers never run.
If you go to Zahadu, you will die.
And with that, my mic's not muted for the first time in a long time when I'm trying to do my monologue. Welcome back to another Monday, another Babylon 5 discussion, laugh, and congregation of when memes will show up. Other than that, welcome everybody back. We are on episode 9 and 10 of season 3. The storm is brewing. Things are hitting the fan, and we're going to have a great time tonight. And with that, before I greet the chat, I want to bring out, first of all and foremost, the person where this all started with. One of them is Keith. How you doing, Keith?
Well, I'm good. I'm good, and like you, I'm kind of excited about these episodes. I mean, we're getting into the nitty gritty.
Of course. And with that, we have Kate, also another one who joined us when this Fring first started. Fring, almost thing, like I slur my words. Hello, Kate.
Hello.
And then Dega, I don't think is going to be with us today. So in replacement, we have the token Canadian.
Hi.
Oh, for fucking, come on, man.
Should he have said A? I don't know.
Yeah. And he changed his name in Vengeance because I corrected his spelling. We also have Monkey Jeebus, the man rustling papers, but always there for a laugh.
Hey.
Wow, that was high. And I want to welcome someone new, someone who's been in the chat since we've been starting doing this. They requested these episodes. I sent out the invites. They can come on. So I would like the chat to give them a big welcome. We have Dave Darius, also known as Bester the Smug.
Let's be honest. No one has ever said, I love
what
my
the hell? Okay, you just ruined it. Hi, Dave Darius. How you doing?
Well, hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's having a great day today.
Keith had your personal intro for you about Let's Be Honest. So, yeah, let's be honest. So, how's everyone doing today? And I'm going to greet the chat right after you answer that question.
Well, I'm doing pretty great myself.
Oh, good. We have Archer calling the chat that says, yes, we're back again, like the Renegade Master. Polymes Minion, thank you for being a member, and hail the Truck Dog. We have Sir Percelot. Sweet member berries. Arwen Avalon says, hey, y'all. We have, who else we got? We got Das Wolf and Halo. Thanks to you. Thank you for being here. We also have my belching. We have Stream Elements saying we are live today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are live today both on YouTube and Twitch. We're trying something different, and we thought this would be a great point to do so. Well, I thought so. We have Tickle Trunk in the chat. We have my member and a mod, Matt Zach, saying, love this intro trailer. Thank you very much. It took a long time to not get copyright claimed by WB. Who else do we have in the chat? Who else do we have there? I think that's about it. All right. And Script Doctor. Listening while doing chores. Have a great show, everyone. You have a great day, sir, and thank you. And, of course, last but not least, Mountains of Elysium. Good day to you as well. Episode 9 and 10. Point of no return.
Indeed it is.
And we had Severed Dreams. My God, could we not get 2 episodes that were great back-to-back as we got right now?
This is the kind of stuff Keith's been hinting at this whole time, and he's like, I don't want to say anything.
I will admit, this is getting to these episodes. Ooh, this is great. It's good stuff.
Spooky Keith.
This is literally what Keith has been waiting for months, where he's like, I can't spoil it. And he yelled at someone else not to spoil it. The whole time, and you're like sitting there just being like, So pretty much every time Keith does that, we're pretty much just giving well, let me get it for you, Keith. We're pretty much giving him this face. I'm sorry, I'm going very slow with the internet right now. This is the face we give every time Keith says, "Don't spoil it." And hello, V-Star. Also, before I forget, V-Star is the newest member to the channel. Thank you very much. And for that, you will get something a little...
Welcome to Shitty Walk. You'd like to try shitty chicken today.
Thank you very much. But other than that, Keith, let's take the floor, man. I know you've been waiting a long time, so you can go first if you want.
Yeah, well, this is definitely episode 9, Point of No Return, as you have informed us. This particular episode actually takes place, I think it's April 8th to the 10th of 2260.
He even knows the dates.
This particular episode brings us pretty much the entire cast and sees the return of Marshal Teague as Talon and Vaughn Armstrong as pretty much, well, head of the Nightwatch, pretty much. A lot of people like me will become even more familiar with him on Enterprise. And speaking of Enterprise, this special guest star for today's episode is Lady Majel Barrett, otherwise known as Majel Barrett Roddenberry, playing the Lady Morella. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's basically Londo, as we start the episode, is rewriting Vir's reports from Membar to make them more
acceptable to the Centauri.
Yes,
and he's
palatable.
taking out anything that was like respectively done. Technically, Vir was sent as an ambassador for the Centauri to Membar, and he did find work, and he's just tearing it down, being like, "Here, you got to make it more simplified for this." And like, and Vir's just like, "I want to bitch slap you like Rick James." Hey, Adega, how are you doing?
So basically, Vir has returned to Babylon 5 and manages to get to Londo, as Londo begins to explain as to the reason why he's making these changes. And that's when he gets the call informing him that the Lady Morella has agreed to his request for a visit. And then he also finds out that President Clark has declared martial law. So, timing. The enemy of Londo Malari. Meanwhile, Ivanova and Sheridan are talking to an Earth Force general about their situation. And basically, they learn that Clark has dissolved the Senate. And that many of the senators are either arrested or they are on the run. And General Haig has gone missing. And while he's talking to them, that's when the elite guard opens fire on the building where this general is. And before leaving, he delivers Haig's last message to Sheridan, which is, "Everything's gone to hell, John. God help us all. You're on your own." Boy, the kind of news that anybody in his position would love to hear.
That really brightens your day.
I have a quick question for those that are saying, "Hey, hello, Adega." Is Adega in the chat? Because I can't see him typing at all. Is he here?
He's always with us, Stephen.
Oh, come on. Stop doing that Santa Claus bullshit for a second. Come on.
He's like, gosh, he is always here.
But I would like to say one thing quickly. Dave Darius, you requested these episodes because you liked them a lot. So why did you want to focus on 9 and 10? And since I'm putting the spotlight on you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episodes. 9 was a very interesting prelude to 10, and 9 is what starts the shift of the story. It's no longer the basic part of the series. It's where the real stuff begins. in my opinion. And of course, episode 10 is what sold the series to me. It was just too good to put into words, if you ask me.
We'll make you try. We'll make you try, sir. We'll make you try. That is weird. So maybe I was just hallucinating. Okay, but if he is there, that's okay. I searched for his name and I don't see him. Okay. Come on, V-Star with a $5 super sticker. What is it? It's a Shibu Inu. Oh, I can't even say that dog's name right.
Shibu Inu.
It says number
Shiba.
one.
Shiba Inu.
All right, it's a dog that does something cute. How about that? And with that, thank you, V-Star. And I will most definitely. Oh my God, as I scroll through. I know. It's everybody wants it. No. Give me money. Give me money.
Amazing clip.
But yeah, this episode. Oh my God, this episode is so much. Like Londo starts realizing that like his future is pretty much sealed.
Well, not
to a degree.
Technically, to a degree, Lena Morella will reveal to him that he will have 5 more chances. So, there is hope.
He already used up one of the chances, saving the eye that cannot see.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do that.
Yeah,
he let them take it. So that's
slipping away. But we will get to that. Basically, we get to the point as of right now that Sheridan and Ivanova are, start to discuss their situation since Babylon 5 has not been included in the order yet. Okay? So Sheridan tells the command staff and CNC just to act normal, but he decides to have one squadron in space at all times. Very smart. And that's when Garibaldi shows up to inform Sheridan and Ivanova that there is a multi-system alert out for General Haig.
It's not even just that. We're also forgetting the fact that Nightwatch is supposedly be taking over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing the full lockdown of a staff that not only Garibaldi has put together and picked himself to develop that team over years suddenly fall apart because of what's going on. And he's furious as hell, man. You can see it. He's like, I just lost pretty much everything because an office has come in and tried to commandeer a military outpost for peace.
Yeah. That when Zach Allen is informed to that they are having a meeting and not to put it out over the link, don't tell Garibaldi, and is advised to bring extra caps for his PPG. Yeah, that's not going to be a meeting that is going to have happy information about everybody getting a puppy. So,
thank you, sir. Does anyone else have anything to add on this? Because I want everyone to participate. Does anyone else have any like moments in this that like just stuck with them, especially with this episode?
There are a lot of moments, if you ask me.
Go ahead.
Like there's the one moment. Let's see. Well, I do know one moment was at the very end, so I don't know if I should immediately talk about that or wait for a bit.
Well, you can discuss anything you need to about the episode. I mean, Well,
I'll say the episode in general is what made Zach a favorite character of mine, considering what he did. Like, is he going to stick with the Nightwatch, or is he going to go back to his old friends? What is he going to do? It has you on edge the whole time.
Well, yeah, because he feels that he's, missing out on things. He's a very intuitive guy. I mean, he's not dumb. He can definitely tell that there's something going on, and he's not being informed. And by both sides, really. The secretive nature of what is going on with Sheridan and Garibaldi and Ivanova, and he's caught between that and what the Nightwatch liaison is doing and keeping him in the dark about what their plans are. So he literally is a guy that is just in limbo, and it's not a good feeling.
See,
Yeah.
this is the point of no return has a lot of different things. It's a no return when it comes to the ulterior motives that are filming coming in hand, finally drawing the lines in that sand, so to say, and figuring out where not only your loyalties lie, but where the chain of command lies. And this episode delivers that in such a way where not only Sheridan is trapped, Garibaldi is trapped. They're going to have to start making sacrifices and taking chances at the same time to see how far loyalty and trust will go with this. And the way the second episode, we talk about later, episode 10, branches off, they connect in such a way with that theme that it feels like it could have actually been a two-parter.
Yeah!
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
very intuitive.
And a shout out to those on Twitch. This is our first time streaming on both platforms, so say hello in the chat. We will see you. And everyone on YouTube, say hello to everyone else. I love it. What about you, Kate? Do you have anything to add to this?
Oh, well, it's a good setup for the next episode, and they definitely are very homogeneous in the plot. I can't, because I'm probably going to mesh them together. So I like how, I think what is it, Alan? I forget his first name, but Conaway's such a fun act. Zach. No, that's the character, but the actor, he's so much fun. He's very
Jeff
good.
Conaway.
Jeff. I don't remember his first name. Whatever.
Jeff.
Yeah. Anyway, he's very enjoyable because you can tell that he's putting the effort in with I'm going along to get along until I'm not. And then at the end when he's like, yeah, I did the thing, but I'm not sure. I keep getting told it's the right thing, but I'm not always sure that's true and whatnot. But
yeah. I mean, Jeff is one of those people that's by many of the cast members that remember him as being a really cool guy to work with.
Bruce Willis light.
Say what?
What did you say?
That's a Bruce Willis light. I'm sorry. It just pops out every time I see Garibaldi, I don't know why I say it. I'm sorry.
I'm very confused, but okay.
This Jeff Conaway definitely adds something and is going to add something as this story starts to ramp up. And this is that part where you're about to take a major hit. Several, really. But for a lot of these characters, this is going to be the start of a really wild roller coaster ride. And for many of these characters, they're not even going to be done until probably the final episode. I mean, this is a wild, wild, wild ride that they're on.
This is we're now out of all let's say the subtle layering of what's been building up over the last 2 seasons. We are now having everything come to the forefront. We're going to look at this, let's say, from a Star Trek standpoint. Dominion's on your doorstep.
Yeah.
The Borg are in front of your Enterprise. This is where it's like they said, point of no return. This is also in a way a last stand. This is where you got to make your choice. You got to move on, and you finally have to make yourself known. And when we get to 10, when we start talking about that, it's you finally want to give a high five to anyone you've been watching this with, and about fucking time. Maybe yeah, buddy. Because it's oh my god. And I'm sorry, the character, I forget her name as an actress, but the woman who plays Lwaxana Troy, she plays a great Minbari seer in this episode, and you can see that the opposite of her fun-loving side, and see more of the devilish empath or telepathic side with her. She's Londo's yeah, you're gonna be something. You're gonna be something too, but you're both fucking screwed. Right? And I love it. I love the way she delivers it in such a way that it's yeah. She's not even laughing out loud.
There's also a kind of a double meaning to a lot of what her dialogue is for this episode, because as the character that she's playing, she's the wife of the emperor, the former emperor, but also she's, the wife of the man for whom JMS has a lot of respect. And again, in case you did not know, J. Michael Straczynski is a huge fan of Star Trek, and enjoyed what Majel and the cast and what Gene Roddenberry and Gene L. Kuhn were able to do on that show. It was a huge influence on the kind of show that Babylon 5 is. I don't think he was as big a fan of Rick Berman and the shows that he oversaw, but for Star Trek itself, huge fan, and it's hard not to be. But a lot of the dialogue that he gave Majel in this episode, when she talks about her husband, could also mean, for her and in real life, for her and Gene.
Hello, Jeremy Swigs. Thank you from Twitch with the Ryan Kindle turtle, which is, I don't know what the hell that is, but memes will love that later on. And if you haven't voted on that poll, please do. We're doing the same poll every week. We're going to do it till Memes buys a watch or a grandfather clock or something that tells time in our universe. And I agree, Arwen. Yes, Vir's response was so Vir. Like, I honestly love Vir because he's just... That one scene where he's talking to Morden in that episode, it's like, I just want to wave up at you with your head on a pike. When you hear that, right then and there, I was like, Vir has learned something from Londo that has made him a better man, and also a very scary man. And that's,
you don't want to catch him on it. That's one of his few very bad days.
Vir's letting his inner Centauri out.
Yeah. And Tico Trunks drop and give me $500. Fuck you. Okay, cool. That's good. Thank you very much. Oh, now Jeremy's just lost it. Oh my God, he's having Tourette's with Twitch. Shit. But I'm glad it's working. Hell yeah, we're gonna do this again more and more.
Didn't Majel request this role on the show because she wanted to bridge the gap between fans of DS9 and Babylon 5 or something? I heard something about that. Or is that wishful thinking?
I don't know. I've slept a lot since this episode first aired. But I will say this: it was a very pleasant surprise to see her on the show. And again, if you know how much of a fan JMS was and still is of Star Trek. Yeah, this was not that big of a surprise if you have paid attention to what he has said about Star Trek and what that show meant to him, and a lot of what he admired about Gene Roddenberry and what he went through in trying to get the series on the air. So, and how they tried to keep it on the air, which mirrored some of what he was going through as he was working on Babylon 5.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly says, Mountain Civilization quickly says, memes won't arrive until the humans evolve into pure energy or the Vorlons buy a round of drinks in the form of lap. Whoa. No. Can you picture a Vorlon giving a lap dance? Excuse me, your survival suit's crushing my balls. Can you
oh, gosh.
Off, please? Oh my God.
It's really hard to twerk in a cape.
I like how that follows with Jeremy Spick says, I don't have Tourette balls. What? Okay. It's nice to see you, sir. And honestly, I'll be serious. I think that a lot of us feel this way. It is sad how many cast members of B5 we've lost. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the number one reason why I think even JMS never really considered this new Babylon 5 series to be a sequel. There's just so many people that they've lost. It would be hard to have a sequel series or movie or whatever, because so many people that I think he would have loved to have had to tell further stories with are gone. I remember when they lost the actor Tim, who played Zathras, and I get the distinct feeling that Zathras was going to become very important in the future, But they couldn't do anything else because he ended up dying, I think, not too long after the show went off the air.
Yeah, motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So...
Oh, we have a new one in the chat who has renamed them Eric Tedwood fractured my butthole.
Oh, jeez.
I am so sorry, but I do love your stuff, and like they've been around for a while. Hail to you. But like that's the thing I think a lot of us have. I can't even go into a serious kind of morning comment after fractured butthole. But I'll try later.
Oh,
it was doubly sad because he was Mira Furlan's, I think, best friend after she came to the United States and started on the show.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing, though, with dynamics of cast and crew. It's very hard to replace, and it's very hard to recreate. But if the right person can do it, it could happen again. It might not be the same dynamic a lot of people are used to with older content, but it doesn't mean that crew can affect the same type of fans we are for future generations. So that's where the benefit of the doubt has to come in even slightly. We can always be reserved. We can always be cautious and careful. But at the same time, we're not going to live forever, and neither will our opinion. That's the sad part. But we got to respect chances.
You know, Archer, I see what you're saying, except that many of the characters that I think JMS was going to try to... If there were to be further things, even after Crusade, we've lost a few of the actors that was really going to hinge on. So it's better to just start all over again, or at least start in a different way, because I'd love to say more, but we haven't gotten far enough yet to where I can, because that will give you a hint as to who is going to survive what is to come. And trust me, there's some very interesting things.
Hello, Stephanie Littlepage. I hope you're having a good day. Hope everything is well. Kitty Bear, nice to see you as well. I do love that beard. I hope you're having fun, whatever you're doing. And Archer, please don't say Crusade. Oh, my God.
Don't say the C word.
Oh, my God.
I know you're not a fan of it.
I'm not either. It's because of the meddling from the studio.
That's it. But I'm not. I didn't say I'm not a fan. What I'm saying is, I'm sad that they had an opportunity to take Babylon 5 in an exploration fashion, not just to save a planet, but to find more out there in the universe. And we didn't get what we saw when we saw that ship, when it was supposed to be like how Crusade was. The ship was supposed to be a grand, like inclusive kind. I'm gonna say inclusive of alien tech and all races coming together to do one thing, find a solution. And it just someone has a fan on in the background. Do they? Is that just static? Is that me?
No, that might be me.
I'm gonna mute.
It's okay. Oh, you're no worries. You don't have to mute. It's all good.
Oh, just making sure it wasn't me.
No, you got angry at me when I was talking about your spelling.
My spelling is terrible. Let's be fair.
Yeah, it is. But other than that, yeah, like I don't bash Crusade. I will rewatch it again. We probably will continue that after we're done B5 because hey, we all love torture here. But
Speak for yourself.
I'm not actually a torturous person. That's it.
Sure.
Crusade was one thing, and it was potential. There was so much potential in that show.
I will say this: I was really looking forward to Lost Tales. You know,
I was as well.
I was really looking forward to the potential of what Lost Tales offered, because unlike having a regular show, you know, having everything depend on one show to explore everything, what Lost Tales offered was the opportunity to even just use one character to explore more of the Babylon 5 universe. And so when you look at the number of characters that even came out of this show, let alone with Crusade, you know, you the number of stories you could have told go up exponentially. And because there are so many cliffhangers from both shows, in a way that are left. I mean, so many unanswered questions from both Babylon 5, the series, and from Crusade. And it was just easier in the end for JMS to just go ahead and do a new version of Babylon 5. So I can completely understand what his point of view is and what he's going for, and I'm all for it. You know, I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to experience that. So,
like a schoolgirl in college. Quickly, I'm going to go to the comments section before Keith experiences something else really awkward.
Wow.
The person lot says there would be so many possibilities, like a story about the crew of the EA patrol craft or the adventures of one huge gate builder ship's. Dude, that falls in the same line with Stargate Universe, that they had potential and no one picked it up and they could have made something great and they ended it so stupidly. Archer Collins says, I like Crusade on the whole. It was just butchered by the stews. Yes, TNT is at fault for that one.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, but that's what I mean about a later saying. The actors are older as the characters would be. Honestly, that would be great. It could actually have been this ship has not been heard of and returns years later, not only to find whatever has happened, but they have found something else that they brought back that could have been a reckoning in the universe.
Would make alternate timelines very easy to do, not that they are 20, 25 years older, and all sorts of other things could be theorized. So that's interesting and convenient.
I will say this about Crusade. The reason why JMS gave an interview after Crusade was canceled, and fans kept asking him, so he had certain things to say about wrapping up that story. There is a definitive end to that story of what the overall story of Crusade was about. And it involved one of the characters from Babylon 5. But in order to visually show that, you can't do that anymore. It's not possible to do it. So, and I don't think he's willing to mess with it. His original ideas and plans, he'd have to basically jump through so many hoops. And it's so much work to try to make all of this fit with what he originally was wanting to do. It's just easier to just do it
again.
To have a from the ground up reboot than it is to try to start from a place where you can fit in all of these characters. So
yeah, and honestly, Keith saying this is mind-boggling in itself, not in a selfish or an insulting matter. When a couple of weeks ago, you guys were here, a lot of you guys were here, and we were talking about the announcement of reboot, which really fell on the freaking day we do this show. And we were all just like, our anuses were clenched, not all of us, most of us. But Keith, after going through JMS's tweet, and it was a tweet longer, pretty much, he was going through the description. It showed that not only he had creative control, that he was going to put forth in the effort. And I think at the same time, he was trying to give the signal that we can't do the same thing now because those people aren't there anymore. He might have CW's money to do the best he can. But if we always keep looking at a new announcement, we just lost. Did we lose somebody? We lost Monkey Jeebus. He'll come back. If we keep always protecting ourselves from experiencing anything that could be an actual good reboot or remake or a retelling, we might miss out on something great that might fill the soul that we need for those years.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at that point where I think a lot of us are emotionally exhausted looking at shows, movies, comic books, everything, and waiting for something to change. And even if I want to go outside the box of Babylon 5, let's look at the new She-Hulk cover. They're revamping She-Hulk, and she's going back to the feminine form she was. That red giant, it's Abby smash the Twinkie store, gone. And so eventually they're going to realize that they can't signal to people who don't want to see the signal. They just want to enjoy content. Keep the messages in layers and focus on making the people and their attention glued. That's what TV was for. It's visual diarrhea. Keeps you glued, keeps you entertained, it makes you think. Am I wrong?
I thought it was a commercial.
That's
no. Television is to tell a vision.
Yeah,
that's its name on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's the only reason it became successful, in my humble opinion, is Rod Serling. So yeah, it's Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
He was from upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
Like Johnson City and
definitely took a very unique chance and made it work in a way that no one believed he could, which is very unique. Even today. So.
Well, I have friends from up there. Like they say that they're like that's why they use like a lot of merry-go-rounds.
Ah.
And Arwood has a good point. If they don't create for fans, they will never get it right. I do agree with that, but we also have to remember that we're at a point now where newer fans are coming, and we also have to make sure they are acknowledged. Otherwise, you're not going to continue the legacy of Babylon 5. It's very finicky depending on the people, the persons, and their attachment to a show or series. So one person's love is another person's opinion. I guess it's different. I can never say or speak for anyone in a full.
Yeah, and plus it's hard to get back into that world because a lot of the pieces behind the scenes are gone. Mm-hmm. You know, the biggest piece being Harlan Ellison. I mean, that is the one thing that I think I've tried to be consistent in also mentioning again and again, like JMS himself, that Harlan Ellison played a really pivotal and important role in putting this show together.
Didn't he? He ran the writers' room.
Yeah, he was the overall conscience of everyone. His job was to make sure that everything worked together, that everything made sense, that everything, there weren't any huge logic problems with the story arcs and the scripts and everything else, that everything was just, he was the guy that basically was there to be the master at arms on behalf of the story. And to almost literally whip people into shape and making sure that everything was paid attention to, that you prioritize the story that you were telling overall above everything else, and that you just moved forward.
Mm-hmm. Keith, I gotta quickly, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to City Walk and take an order, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the order has been a dead outlaw. How are you doing, sir? I was waiting.
I like that. That was pretty cool.
All right, that was good. Can I take you all, please? One fucking dead outlaw to go. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? I didn't know if you were going to make it today, so...
it was close.
First of all, I'd like to introduce you to Dave Darius, who has been in the chat and following us since the show, I think, pretty much started. He thinks all of us are awesome, supposedly, but I think that was just Santa Claus whispering in my ear at night while trying to take my teeth from the tooth fairy.
It's the drugs.
Not
his drugs, our drugs.
Oh, wow, okay. But, there you go. How are you doing today? It's glad to see you on this panel. We're getting full lately. This is awesome. It's like a Weight Watchers meeting without any food.
I've always been full.
But so we're still doing On Point of No Return. I'm glad you can join us. People in the chat are greeting you. How are you doing today, sir?
Feeling pretty special. Had to drop off my wife's car at the dealership for some repair stuff, and that's what took so long. So sorry.
Why are you apologizing? You made it
because that's the type of person I am. I'm not sincere about it. Just say it, because for some reason in
you're
the
not
world
Canadian.
Today, if you say you're sorry, you can get away with anything.
Keith, who said that Canadian? Do you want to come back next week? Who said that? Who's the one who said that?
That was me. I'm a Canadian. I said that.
All right, you get a free pass.
Sorry.
He says sorry.
Sorry.
I got my Tim Hortons and Hulky Sticks, and I tell you what, I got some Tim Horton Timbit and a Beaver up. I can't do this no more. It hurts my mouth. I'm doing this shit.
I caught my friend saying it, and then
Shane.
he corrected himself, and he wouldn't say it again. He's like, I didn't say that.
But yeah, Dega, since we haven't really asked you much yet, and I'll get to Monkey in a little bit, point of no return. Do you got any favorite moments so far? Anything that just stuck out to you with these episodes?
I know the next episode, I'm trying to remember what point of no return is. I see Garibaldi there in the midst of all the arm-bearing Nazis, and I'm trying to remember most of the story. I know it, but I've seen it so many times, but I'm just trying to...
This episode is the one where Londo gets his... he gets the...
Audience with Lady Morella.
Yes.
Oh, okay. He gets
so he learns those things. Yes, and the
bombing Mars.
Mm-hmm. And Nightwatch try to run a coup on the station.
Yes.
Awesome one says, "I'm Southern Canadian from Maine, CA." What?
I think my favorite part would have to be when Garibaldi confronts Zach.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. You're right. We forgot one thing. Honestly, can we give a moment of silence to the table? Garibaldi flipped over with anger. Because he was like, I want to punch. Table flip. And you're like, oh, I know that meme.
He's like, you want to get nuts?
Who's making a scene here?
Which table? He does it twice.
Oh, he does do it twice.
Yeah. There's like
he's kind of... He's not only Bruce Willis, he's kind of like Michael Keaton in Batman.
And he had this. Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
There you are.
Exactly.
There you are. and Mountains, it's the delivery. It's not just saying you're sorry. There has to be a delivery.
Sorry, eh?
I'm sorry.
And Kate, I don't know if you got cut off, but you were going on with a comment. I know it's...
I said there's a second table. He does that twice.
I must have missed the second table. Did the table survive, or was it still? Like,
I don't know. I mean, they both were flipped. One was just smaller than the other and less cinematic.
Yeah. But like honestly, like I gotta give up for Garibaldi in that scene, man. He looked like betrayed at this point. He was like, "I have picked you one by one," and the way he talks to that one guy, "What do you mean us? Where is this us?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, and that fits so well to what's going on in the last few years. It's just like, shit, JMS is psychic at this point.
Yeah, he says, "What's this us? Anyone who puts on an armband?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes through why that's completely stupid. It's because he handpicked all these people. Like he hooked some of them up with their wives, and he gave them a chance when they didn't have a chance. Like it was their last chance, just like he was given the last chance on the station.
Quickly, Explorer of the Multiverse, always trying to cause shit, says, "Is this Star Wars?" And with that,
No.
There's your answer.
But hey, if you want to sell him on the show, these 2 episodes might do it. There is some talking, but you'll have to, figure out what's going on some other way if you don't like the talking.
I start watching the show once they come out with Babylon 5 Fortnite skins.
Oh, no.
That's a good point. The uniforms, you'll have the original, and then, yeah, that'd be that. Yeah.
I'd do it if they had a Vorlon suit you could run around in.
Oh, you could just be a giant hitbox, bro.
Oh, yeah, the hitbox.
Well, I like the scene with the transmission that General Smits sends to Sheridan.
Yes. Oh,
and
the
Sheridan
message within a message.
What if when you're a Vorlon, you look like a different player to everybody who sees you?
That'd be a lot of coding.
Yeah.
Hi.
Should be a glowing body with the head swap.
No,
Right?
Kitty Bear,
Yeah,
that's not
that's
what we're
easy.
talking about. Not Babylon Foreskins. No, but that's the title is a joke. Thank you.
Oh,
That came
funny.
before Babylon 5.
With a chain of command, he was giving messages without giving messages because at this point, no pretty much military
Unauthorized
broadcast, or signal is actually safe. Everything's being listened
Monitored.
Yeah, monitored. That's pretty much it. So it's like giving a message within a message is very hard to do. And it's just Geneva's getting attacked. Everything's getting attacked, and you're like,
I mean, we're talking about people who have been in the military for at least 5 to 10 years, and career military people, so they know exactly what they're doing, and you can act like, oh, they'll do what they're told until it's time not to do what they're told.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it was very smart, but it's also very honest.
Yeah. Well, it's by the book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for me, this is a nice nod to what was done in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
So the whole way that Spock was able to communicate to Kirk exactly how much damage the Enterprise had received and how long it was going to take to fix. And it's that same kind of thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Except he didn't obviously lean forward when he wanted you to take something a different way.
It's saying something without saying something, and that's not only in art. It's a way. It's a tactical wording in a way, and then
it was really good writing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
and respect the chain of command. Yes, Archer Collin, and those who said it before. Shane Nolan, you said it before as well. Yes, because they were trying to say one thing in general. This is a government facility. Chain of command follows with government facility. A political
military
office
cannot
dictate what a military outpost does. And that
was David Arquette's dad.
Yeah, but you saw him, right? You saw Sheridan. He was frantic. It was like a kid trying to get the grilled cheese out of a VCR. He's on his wrist. It's like he was like entering like a Game Genie code on his fucking hand. I'm like, sitting there, they're gonna get fucking carpal.
You put a grilled cheese in a VCR?
No, it's an ongoing joke that I heard a long time ago from a comedian that someone actually mistaken their VHS and their kids put a grilled cheese in a VCR.
Yes, and ruined it.
Yeah. Because you can't get that shit out.
I mean, my brother put a Hot Wheels in one, but whatever. What? Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yep.
What did he think? He was a garage?
Yeah, basically, like, no, it's going to be the garage now. Like, that's not going to work. And now Dad has to take it apart. Way to go.
You can't wind his tape without cheese sauce.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Dinner and a movie.
That's not dinner and a movie.
Yeah, it is now.
It's dinner on a movie.
That's
popcorn. But that's like that is true, but it's also technically it'd be dinner and movie. It'd be like buying popcorn to watch Birds of Prey and realize you're the only ones in the theater.
But that's fun when you're the only one in the theater. You've never had that experience? It's awesome.
Yeah,
not for Birds of Prey.
Well, any movie, but like I would never see that.
Harlequin.
I'm not interested in token stuff.
Awesome one says
Token, the black kid from South Park.
Awesome one says he's put an NES cartridge in a VHS player. No words. Like Jody, like no words. Can anyone else hear
peg
Keith's
in a round forehead?
Can anyone else hear Keith's head shake? I can hear it pretty loudly right now.
No, he keeps deflating like a tire.
Yeah,
it's creaky. It's like a statue moving its head.
I think one of the better parts of this episode, this picture kind of sums it up, is that Londo is trying to reach out to a seer, thinking he has like the master plan in effect, and she already knows. And she pretty much flips the game on him and makes him realize that you're not as smart as you think you are, and gave him a realization of it.
I think he's worried as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's so much that he was trying to gain anything as he was trying to gain insight, is if to know if there's any way he can avoid what's coming. I mean, the thing is that he's already seen where this could possibly lead,
like his best friend.
And the words of the techno mage are echoing in his head now very loudly. So he wants to see if there really is a way to get off this merry-go-round.
I think he wants assurance that he's not crazy.
Or a dirtbag.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's crazy. I think he's worried about prophecy, and he still has faith in those types of things, because otherwise he wouldn't reach out to a seer. And prophecy, he wants to know whether or not this is something that is stalemated as no road he can change, or whether or not he has the power to change it. Because at the end of the day, the way Centauri and politics run is that power won't change prophecy, only your free will.
Mm-hmm.
And Londo's the kind of person who goes along with the ride when he's scared.
All right,
like Garibaldi said, he's just holding on.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't want to get thrown.
But he does get his answer. I mean, at the end of the episode, he's got 5 opportunities. You know, it's about as plain as you can make it. It's like you get five more chances.
Mm-hmm. Arwen says, my heart really feels for Londo when he says he hopes things are the way he thinks they will be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty much, he's hoping that the bed he made, he doesn't have to sleep in it at this point. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but there's still an opportunity. There's still an opportunity for him to come out the other side of this, but you got to be willing to do what is necessary. And it's not so much trying to avoid responsibility. It's the realization that, you know, are you willing to pay the price in order to come out the other side of this? Mm-hmm. You know, and so, yeah, you know, look, for the things that he's done up to this point, there is a price to be paid. Are you willing to pay that price? You know, there's no way to come out of this, given the things that he's done up to this point, unscathed. There is a price to be paid.
Did someone put you in the trunk of a car?
Yeah, are you being kidnapped right now? Your mic went weird, like all of a sudden someone shut the door to the closet and you're not getting out till you finish that cheesecake.
If you're in trouble, blink twice over the microphone.
We can't. What the fuck? Archer calling.
Is he blinking? I can't see.
I like that line. You will be emperor. That much is unavoidable. At which point Londo realizes that it sounds like a curse. But she also points to Vir and goes, "You will also be emperor." And Vir's just like, "Huh?"
his
I thought you were joking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We do not joke in the face of prophecy.
Well, Londo's in desperation because pretty much he says they all have this gift of being able to see how they can die, and he's seen his. He's had dreams of shadow vessels. All these things are pointing to him. It's going to be a bleak future, and right there, he's begging to not have to face it or some way to change it. Mm-hmm. But inside, he knows it's inevitable.
What about you, Darius? What do you got to say on this?
Oh my God, it's just a great moment because freaking, like Londo, yeah, of course, he sees that it will happen no matter what he does, and he's like, oh no, how am I going to embrace this in the future? And then,
that's a good one.
And of course, Vir finds out he's also going to be emperor. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, emperor.
One of you will become emperor if the other one is dead.
And then, yeah, the two of them just like awkwardly stare at each other for the rest of the night.
I love the look. The acting is so good.
They're so suspicious of each other at that point. Doesn't the Minbari ship leave? Yeah. No, that's tomorrow. Ah, yes, tomorrow.
I made dinner.
It's your favorite.
It's your favorite.
They just stop trusting each other for the rest of the night.
And I love that they laugh at each other and stop laughing at the exact same moment.
Yeah, that was great.
It's like when you're like, okay, you get the front, you get the back, don't make eye contact. And they make eye contact. Same thing. An ice cream truck, you know?
Jesus
Not
Christ.
that type of it. You guys are perverts.
No, I'm not.
So look him into the eyes.
And then there's Monkey, who's just way out left field right there. All right. If you were going to rate this episode, because...
Oh, we didn't even talk about Jakar and Talon.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I was waiting for someone to bring that up. Yeah. Jakar,
this is one of my favorite parts of this episode.
Jakar, you get out early. Why is that? Because I got no security to help you and guard you. That's fine.
He's going to shoot anywhere.
I love that when Garibaldi goes to let him out, he's singing.
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't give a shit about that petition.
We need more non-opera in our lives.
Thank you. I'm glad someone brought that up because I didn't want to be over talking everyone. But Jakar, I think that whole prison term or that break term has centered himself in a way that he can be not only of himself, but for his people and for the future. And he's no longer caring about the woe is me of his people, but how to get out of the woe is me of his people. And he wants to help, and he can see that in him. It's just that whole evolution of Jakar and of an emotional stature is just a lot of people try to reach that every day when they're having just like a bad day, a bad year, a bad month, and it's hard to get out of that rut. And Jakar is like that prime example in a way. I'm all speaking from opinion, but I love the way Jakar smiles because it's no longer a smile of like he's happy. It's a smile of confidence and an onlook to the future.
There's like an inner peace now with this. His character is completely different.
Yeah, his chakras are aligned pretty much.
and you notice now
soon he will become the Avatar.
Look at how his relationship with Garibaldi has changed.
Yes,
I mean it's a complete opposite of where Londo is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And both of their relationships with Garibaldi reflect that. And
they do.
It is just an interesting change for both of them, and to see Garibaldi, kind of reflect that in a way. I don't even think Garibaldi realizes at this point how opposite that is. I don't think anybody's really worried about that because they all have their own problems. I mean, things are about to get very interesting for everyone,
and nobody knows. But honestly, it's like Jakar has gone the road where Londo should have been, and Londo has to give up the selfishness of his politics and power before he can even start going down that road. He's pretty much stuck at the crossroads going, what do I do? And the seer can't answer that for him because as much as the seer will give them knowledge is only the weapon or tool that the other person will use.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta there's a nail, but you gotta figure out if you want to use the hammer or not.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I mean, this is a great episode. Well written, and again, as you said before, this could have easily been a 2-part episode along with the episode that comes after this. Wow, it's just great writing, great acting. I want to say so much more, and I still can't.
Sir Percelot says the thing with Londo and Jakar that they always touch me is that each one sees in the other what the other could become, but positive and negative spoken, thus both hate and admire each other. Yeah, they're frenemies, but they're frenemies. Yes. But at the end of the day, they're also allies. They just haven't reached that point yet. They have this way of how their lives are going and their races are going. They're going to race that certain type of, I guess, called limbo, where they're going to meet again. They become enemies. They become allies. They've tried everything else, but
they've swapped places.
Yeah, they have. Honestly, the elevator scene, like when they're trapped. Yeah, it's. Oh my! I can't. I don't think any of us can explain how brilliant those two characters in general cannot be matched on a lot of shows. Like, yeah, you got Abbott and Costello, Bernie and Urt, or anything like that. They're
Rebo
not
and
the same.
Zudi.
Spock and Kirk, or if you even got like Data and Geordi, you're never going to have that dynamic. And those two, it's just like polar opposites, but without the magnetic pushing away. They just did this stuck together like puzzle pieces.
Yeah, they're like yin and yang, and they actually swap places.
Wow. Side note, Arwen had said that the Narn were made of stern stuff. I always thought they were a mix between, Jersey-made iguana.
I'd also like to say, anyone who types in the chat !Streamlabs,
please
go
don't.
for it. Yeah,
No,
please
don't.
do.
Please don't.
Please do. Anyone who
Don't.
does !Streamlabs, because Tickle Truck threw a fit one night. I made him a special command.
I didn't throw a fit.
You did. Arwen says B5's character development is one of the reasons this show is so damn brilliant. No one ends exactly as they begin. No, it's evolution. It's growth. That's
Definitely.
Oh, okay. Who has it? Who has it? What? How long have we been in? We've been in about an hour. So who picked an hour?
I win again.
Who picked an hour?
did.
I did. Same as last week.
I win.
Motherfucker. There you go. Someone already typed it. Not bowel movement. That's not how you spell Tickle Trunk or Streamlabs. Awesome. I missed the spam bots as well.
I am full of shit.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure your ear volume is not too loud. Welcome the master of Timex without a battery.
This is the point where I'm supposed to give some elaborate excuse in order to excuse myself. I have no excuse. I've been putting off adulting, and I was required to adult. I also played with a Monster Girl last week, and I liked it.
Actually, people were actually. I actually put in the poll. Have you seen the poll memes yet?
I saw Blue Bar.
When will memes arrive? We had 30 minutes at 12%, in 1 hour 36%, 1 hour and 30 minutes 16%. He's gonna have a shaved head is 36%. So they were literally expecting you to have less hair than you did last week.
Give me another month. The terrible thing is, as soon as I shaved, it started getting really cold in New England, which is very bad timing. Oh,
hold on, I'm gonna sit on your face.
Oh,
I'm sorry, memes. Before I say anything else, memes. We do have a one of our chat viewers in our panel today, and it's Dave Darius. So give a hello and welcome to him as well.
I know Darius. What's going on?
Hello there.
What's happening?
Not much.
Now we're on point of no return memes. And did you have any favorite moments or stuff that you wanted to add in as your normal time frame is always
I'm
late?
almost on season 4. Which one was this again?
This is season 3. Point of no return.
Episode 9.
Yes. The seer comes to see Londo and tells him that he will be emperor.
Oh!
And the Nightwatch try to take over the station.
Right. I love the Vir thingy because it's such a beautiful thing and it just works so well on so many levels throughout the universe. We'll leave it at that.
The Nightwatch guy's voice sounds so official.
Hold on, let me go back to this, see what happens.
Come on, man! You're an hour late. You can get caught up to take notes. Okay, you're using words.
Currently, I apologize. I've come back to have words. I feel like I'm breaking some rules.
You've broken a lot of rules, memes, but you're definitely an addition to this thing. I'll just sum it up like this. Hold on while memes tries to figure out what's going on. But Zach says maybe it'll change, but I don't feel for Londo. He made his decisions. He's directly responsible for the death of millions and enslavement of family. I am true to a point, but he's not the one who pulled the trigger. But he's not the one who pulled the trigger on the mass drivers. That was the other Centauri.
Well, it's showing how it's all layers. Because well, this is true, but also at the same time, oh god, the Reaper.
Reaper madness.
Go back in time. No spoilers.
Don't feel the Reaper.
No spoilers. But yes, basically, you're just seeing what's going on with this. It's like it shows. It's like, all right, well, who's involved? Oh, there was a horrific mass killing on the planet of Narn. It's like, well, people blame Londo. Why? Well, because he's always out there and everything. Even though he may not have been the one to actually schedule it, to pull the trigger, or think it was a good idea, his actions led to that. So how do we attribute blame for horrific things that happen? This is why I love the show. It makes you think.
Percival quickly says, fat-stevenseagal and Arwen Allen, the only character whom I would compare or state as satisfying in the end that Londo and Jakar is between Anakin and Ahsoka during the Clone Wars. I do agree with that to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, as much as they will never admit it, they are pretty much best friends. And they just don't want to acknowledge it yet because of all the past shit going on. And Tickle Trunk quickly drops in with a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank God it's worthless nowhere else but in Canada. I'm kidding. Sorry, I fucked up that sentence. To save our people, we must sacrifice our people. We must be willing to die in the thousands, in the millions for one another. One of two. What's the other half, dude? You don't have to super chat. Just tell me.
I sent it already.
It's this episode, isn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
that was a ridiculous.
Well, I'm
thing.
looking for it. What was the second part? So we're gonna end the poll now because it's over. I can't see the second part. What's going on here? Did you put this? Okay. Oh my god, dude! You didn't have to super chat twice. The humans, they are key, and together, Talon, we will turn that key. And with that, I would like to quickly state and give him shit. So we'll give him this.
Has made some bad choices.
What time is that, Keith? It's right in the private chat in Eastern. Let's see. Okay, all
55
right, cool. But yeah, well, sure. So, all right, let's get through this because we want to get to the next episode. We have 20 people watching. Let's give our ratings, whether in the chat or on the panel, and we'll start at the top. I give this one at least an 8. And then we're going to move on to Severed Dreams. Hope I said that right. I give it an 8 out of 10. Keith, what do you give it?
I give it the same thing. I mean, very well written, very well done. I mean, got to give it up. Everybody was really, really good in this episode.
Yeah, I agree. Next is Kate.
Probably also 8. Maybe 7.5, 8.
Good answer. Good thing. That's good. Good. What about you, Memes?
Which episode was this again?
Oh my god.
Black Girl Pose. My default is an 8, so that sounds good for levity 8.
What about you, Darius?
I give it a 10 out of 10.
And you're also a first-time viewer of Babylon 5, correct?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. What about you, Adega?
Oh, good.
A high 9.
A high 9. Okay, like Cheech and Chong.
Oh.
Yep.
What about you? What about you, Jeebus?
I'll give it an 8.
All right. And then, of course, not last but not least, Spoopy Trunk.
Wait, I'll give it a 9 because David Arquette's dad is on it.
I'm
going to give this one a 9.
The wrong season.
I'm giving this one a 9. The writing was really, really good. The acting was good. There's a lot of pivots happening on the show, like Lennier taking over for half of the security on the entire station. That's huge. I love the scene with Lady Morella and Talon in the elevator, and she just looks over and he smiles and she looks forward.
Yeah, that was great.
So there's a lot of things like a lot of big things happened in this episode. Martial law turned Earth into I don't know. Would Prison Planet
Australia?
be
Wait, I didn't say that.
a little too much to say here?
More or less Prison Planet.
So Earth is now an authoritarian hellhole. Babylon 5 is on its own. All of its allies are missing, basically. It doesn't have allies right now. It's on its own, actually. And everyone else is on their own currently from Earth. Half of the security staff are now Narn. Jakar is sort of, I don't know, he's trying to find his place to do the most good that he can.
Mm-hmm.
Londo has just found out that his future isn't set, but I still have a hunch. You still have the feeling that he's really scared. At this point. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I got to raise it to an 8.9.
And with
I
that,
remember the interaction between Sheridan and the general. It's like, well, you need to follow the chain of command.
Yes.
I love that part.
Very clever writing.
And with that, we're going to go on to Severed Dreams, which is Season 3, Episode 10, also known as the pivotal stone in the series to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we've already had martial law declared. We have shit hitting the fan across at least the Earth, the Earth galaxy in general, the universe, if you want to call it the solar system. Mars has been bombed. Civilians have been injured. News media has been told to keep things under wraps, but they can no longer do that. And we're reaching a point where the choices made now are going to affect the future, not just for Babylon 5, but for everyone else who's on that Babylon 5.
Yep.
And Keith, don't explode.
They already did.
Well, look, this episode takes place between April 14th to the 15th of 2260.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is that into this show.
Just as much as Tickle Trunk is into Keith.
You know, a really, really nice cast, but the standouts being the big guest stars of Phil Morris as Bill Traynor and Bruce McGill as Major Ed Ryan. And of course, one of my personal favorites.
Oh, D-Day from Animal House.
That's right. And Rance Howard as Mr. David Sheridan.
Yes.
Ron Howard and
we also want a moment
Clint
of silence because Sheridan has lost a lot of allies this season, this episode in general. We lose a lot. We're at a point now where human is turning against human, and whether to choose to fire or not means either your lives and your crew's lives over the people attacking you because they don't know what's going on, or they're following orders. And that's the one thing that sucks with being a military force. You either blindly follow or you follow what you've been trained to do, protect. And it's not going to be an easy road, especially for the Earth Force. Go ahead, Keith.
Cool. You pretty much summed it up. Look, this right now is just a time of just excitement and confusion, and things are really escalating, as you pointed out. President Clark is
nuts.
Yeah, but he has every right to be worried at this point. Especially now that Nightwatch is no longer able to give active reports about what's going on Babylon 5. You have the start of the episode with the EAS Alexander, commanded by Major Ed Ryan, and it's trying to fend off an attack by Clark loyalists, the Clarkstown. And they have to decide, whether or not to actually fire on the other ship, and they ultimately do. And it turns out that the major actually knows the captain of the other ship, and so
we know everyone that we kill. This is unlike any war we've ever fought. We know everyone that we kill.
Yeah. So it is. Things are really, really upside down and backwards. And by the end of this episode, Sheridan's going to have to make a major decision for himself. We are in it now. To quote one of my favorite war films, we are in it up to our necks. So,
yeah, this is where everything starts going crazy. It's nutty bananas. It's like, all right, we've reached this point. We're at the top of the roller coaster. Go.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it just keeps on getting more and more amazing. I love it.
I would just like to state the Tickle Trunk. Yes, I used the bathroom. The closet's full already. Thank you.
Oh, I thought there was only supposed to be water there.
Savages.
Next up, kitchen sink.
Garrick is a simple trader. You're on the wrong show, dude. What is this, Garrick? What is this?
What?
I go for
Space
30
Coast?
seconds. I go for 30 seconds. Yeah,
You're
talking about
1/8 Canadian, Steven.
talk to me when you have your beard back.
This particular episode, though. I mean, you see Sheridan having to give the order that as soon as I think it's as soon as the Alexander
Shows
comes to Babylon 5 that they are to cut the comms. And sure enough, the ship shows up and the word is given. And so the comms are cut.
Kill it.
And
we are going to give full help. We're going to give full repair jobs. We're going to give full everything. And you have some of the command crew being like, but sir, I'm like, but nothing. If you don't want to be here, there's the fucking door.
If you do leave, I mean,
yeah, he did say it a little nicer than that.
The funny part is because remember the guy who says "but sir" is the same guy who was literally where is it? Hold on, remember Captain Rosebud here was finally like, "But sir," he's like, yeah, the guy who was thought he was getting some. One guy finally went, shit, it wasn't about getting laid.
It just means he still holds out hope.
Yeah, it's Lieutenant Corwin.
Leah Rose says, my favorite season of Babylon 5, first season, Commander Sinclair. I give you respect to that.
Oh, just wait. If you like Sinclair, just wait. Anyway,
my God.
That's all I'm going to say.
Continue. No, memes is climaxing on.
But yeah, it's the S has definitely hit the proverbial fan, and now that they are Babylon 5 has welcomed in the Alexander, technically things are going to get very interesting for Babylon 5 from here on out. So
this is the sort of episode that you wouldn't normally see on any other sci-fi show.
Yeah,
because they don't have plans to change the universe this drastically.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what? I think you're typing in the other chat. I think Rough Girl, you're typing in the other chat. But at Nerd Rock, the woke is going to backfire. Bet what? I was got paranoid. What's going on?
No. She's the quantum Rough Girl. She's in the superposition between channels. See what I did? Check your tachyon.
Like your idea of time and space.
I don't have the tachyon.
Yeah.
Well, when the General Ryan arrives, he brings the news that General Haig had perished during the last attack, and so Sheridan realizes that his one major contact within Earth Force is now gone, and that this has now become a very lonely thing. I mean, he's going to have to start making some major decisions real quickly because things are changing almost every minute now.
And you could tell that because his camera zoomed in on his face really fast.
Mm-hmm.
The depth of field change.
The cinematography is totally it did get better as you progress.
It's the same type of point of view when Tickle Trunk's looking at that body pillow with Keith's face, and he's like,
"Wow."
He's not even denying it, Keith. You know he's not.
I don't even know what to say to these.
You're blushing.
You all owe Keith royalties now.
I don't know.
Some
Keith,
residuals for those body
respect.
pillows. You're losing his likeness.
I gotta think of some comebacks.
For me, besides
God damn it, Steven.
Besides, the decisions that Sheridan's going to have to make, Delenn realizes that she has to go meet with the Grey Council, and she decides to start chewing on some ass. So,
and normally you got to pay extra for that.
And not only that, that's why I say this is like a two-parter. It falls under the we will have to break the Great Council as prophesized, and snaps that fucking
dude. Delenn is one scary Minbari.
Oh god!
This is the thing. When she gets going, she is on like a freaking Shadow Crusade. See what I did there? But also, at the same time, you're sitting there. It's like you're watching this journey. You've literally seen the journey, how she's gone from this, and as the series progresses, it's phenomenal.
Quickly, Zach says, "Tickle Trunk, you stole my pillow." So, Keith, there's more than one person who has your face on a pillow.
No, God.
If you would like to buy more dark chocolate pop culture minefield pillows, stay tuned. I'll put them in the store.
Oh God, they're going to be getting sold at a B5 convention in the future, aren't they?
Oh, jeez, on.
And hold on. I forgot one thing. I know we're trying to go comparatively, respectively. This stream is brought to you by Master Grift. Don't steal content without it. And Keith, yes. Sorry, we are his friends.
Anyway, yes.
Before you go on, I want to say one thing. If
Penis.
Yes, penis. Continue. No. If Delenn was written by someone today, she would just be a Mary Sue.
That's not true. Let's look at it this way: from that thing where they got found out that there was 3 men writing that one book and they won the award. So technically, Delenn could be written by 3 men and still be successful.
I don't care. She's badass.
No. I'm saying she's an independent, powerful, strong female character, and she's not a Mary Sue because she's written properly. She's written correctly, thoughtfully.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, they had problems filming this actual scene here because the staff she was supposed to break, even though it was breakable, she couldn't break it. They keep
Because she
making
wasn't
it weaker
snapping
and
over her
weaker.
knee. She broke it above her head with her 2 tiny little arms.
That was terrifying. I'm like, wow, Minbari are strong.
So they couldn't make a proper prop staff where it's already broken, and she just makes it.
No,
look
they did have
cinematic?
one. They did have one.
Okay,
she just
but it should be
tiny
literally
little woman.
She has Mira Furlan arms. They're tiny.
She is
To
probably
that's
like
a weird angle.
Yeah, okay, but my point is that it's already pulled apart and it's together with like essentially Scotch tape. I'm sure she could have figured that out.
Well, I think what they had to do was, I think they were trying to get her to film that scene where she takes the staff and breaks it, and they tried to film it all in one.
Yeah, then that
And
makes it more difficult.
That makes it more difficult because how do you do that and not break it while snatching it from someone else? So,
not the best prop work is all. There's ways you can do that. It's just they didn't have it. It's okay.
This show is on a perpetual budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could have done CGI. They could have done CGI staff now.
Well, nowadays, yes.
There are bloopers of this, Shane is saying?
Oh, the bloopers of this episode are pretty good. When what's his name? General Haig, when he was written off the show, the other general, instead of saying that he died, he goes, General Haig is doing Deep Space Nine. He was double booked by his agent and there's nothing to be done.
Sir Percival says, at Steven Seagal, Tickle Trunk is right. I mean, back then, she even became a pariah among her own people to achieve her goals today. All would admire her as being awesome. That is true, but I don't think she did that to achieve her goals. She went under that transformation chrysalis to become something that it was an olive branch in between. Mm-hmm. And that's why both Human and Minbari would not accept her, because they felt like it was not only a mockery, but they refused to accept it because they still had past tense feelings or emotions or regrets or angst towards the war with Earth and Minbari.
And there was the whole thing about Here Comes the Inquisitor, too. She proved that it wasn't about her.
Yes.
It was about what needed to be done.
Exactly.
Hail Black Dragon.
And that's this, too. She, the problems of others are not our concern. And that really cheesed her off. And that's why she broke the staff. And
she made sure to remind them why they were doing it. Ducat, their leader, was the one who had given her this task. And she gave her word, and basically that's what she's doing. It's following prophecy, and it's also following the fact that, generations of hearing that the darkness is going to return, and guess what? Mm-hmm. The darkness is here, and you got all these people
standing around.
Yeah, basically with their hands in their pockets, and she's like, "What else do we have to do?" I mean,
Keith, you're right. She also said another point. Are you saying the Great Council formed by Valen himself? You are disrespecting Valen's name.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. This was created to have 3 castes work together of equal sides. And if you are not willing to work together, then we must dismantle this caste, dismantle this council, and think for ourselves. It shows that there was even segregation of politics within the Minbari.
And it was also prophesized that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say more. Anyway,
Well, Keith, it's one of those things where it's like you've got all these things happening. It's like, well, the prophecy seems to be occurring, and it's like I would put my hands in my pockets and start to whistle, but I never learned how to whistle. It's a very unfair, difficult world
got
out there.
one hand
But
in my
all
pocket,
I'm saying,
and Barry whistling to me.
hey, hand check. But
Thank you.
all we see here is basically it's like, all right, all this stuff is happening. It's like, well, why don't we use the best memes at our disposal? The prophecy's happening. The shadows have returned. Oh my God! Let's break up the Great Council. Why?
But let's add to that as well, because we also had that Mimbar they were trying to save, and Jakar steps up. How can you carry him? How far do you need me to carry him? And that was the whole thing. Races and planets outside the solar system and the galaxy are constantly fighting, thinking they will be immortal because they serve the shadows. They will not fail. And that's the infighting. That is the chaos that the shadows run by. And I'm not spoiling things. We've heard this before. It's the whole battle between what you want and who are you.
Yeah. Well, Jakar is also, again, he's evolved to the point where it's about all of us. And so he's doing exactly, I mean, he's made it to that point to where he just wants to be of service. He wants to do the right thing. And so that shows, that is the final real turn of his character. It's like, this is who he is now. And the other characters acknowledge that. You know, it'll be something that Delenn will definitely point out to him. Considering how Delenn didn't really think that much of Jakar in the beginning. And so to get to where they are now in their relationship, that's an achievement.
We also get a pretense when it comes. I'm sorry, Darius, you're the guest on the panel. Do you have anything to add? Because I feel like we always talk so much, you don't get a word in. So come on, Darius, before Tickle Trunk starts writing love poetry.
Oh, there's a lot to say about this episode. I think Delenn breaking up the Great Council has already been covered. That was a good scene. The fight scene is another one that's worth talking about because a lot of stuff happens there. Like freaking Earth Force shows up, and Sheridan's like, Sheridan doesn't want to fight at first, so he's like, "All right, get everyone together, but don't attack. Let them attack first."
Yeah.
And then the actual fight happens.
Using the words of his father.
Let's forget something. We're forgetting the opening scene, which is fantastic, where that one Narn just overheard Londo talking. He's like, it seems your identity card
yeah, that was
isn't
amazing.
working. Yeah, he will be ready in 3 standard hours. And Londo's just sitting there going,
You have to keep an eye on us at all times, yes?
Yeah.
That Narn spent his whole life waiting to troll Centauri.
And he trolled the best one to troll.
Honestly, that Narn was just like, suck it.
I know who you are, but the computer does not. Verification is required to enter.
Yeah, it literally falls under that. Sorry, memes. It falls under that line. If anyone's ever seen Little Britain, computer says no. It's the same fucking trope. It's just used again.
Oh no!
What was that?
Someone eating their mic, perhaps?
That was Keith nuzzling his microphone.
Oh no!
Is this pillow talk?
Actually, we're going to come out with those pillows with the voice box. You know,
in a body pillow. I see what you did.
Mm-hmm. But
in a body bag.
Body bag would be funnier. Body bag's funnier.
Yeah.
So, showdown at Babylon 5. We get everything set up. Sheridan is giving aid to somebody he views as a comrade in arms. And then all of a sudden, Earthburst shows up. They deliver their message. And Sheridan sets the board by saying, be ready. Do not attack first. But like it has been said, as Sheridan's father said, don't start a fight, but finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Close the blast doors. Love it.
Oh, but man, that whole scene was like, command, Captain, you have to let us do something. Let us take the gloves off. We need to return fire. And it was that point you saw the ship destroyed, and you were like, shit. Earth is taking more sacrifices than anyone else this here. And they're going to be on the same type of body piles as Narn was. By their own hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the shadows were involved.
They were involved. It's actually said that, but we don't know that yet. Spoiler, Captain, don't spoil shit.
What?
Yeah.
He was proposing a question, and you answered it.
I know I'm a dick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was all you.
We saw Morden on Earth.
It's not technically a
Hashtag
spoiler.
Fat Steven. But oh my god! And like the whole thing is, you remember like how many command crew leave? He's like, if you don't want to be here, get the fuck out. And everyone else is like, fine, we'll do it. And then one guy thought he was gonna get laid by Ivanova was finishing like, okay, I'll stick around. It's like he finally got out of that child I'm a newbie to the military kind of feel. And he just situated.
So what you're saying is he came into himself.
I'm not even.
Well, okay then.
There's a joke in that. I can't find it, but there's a joke in that.
If there's a joke in there, I'm gonna follow it up.
No. Close the blast doors.
There is a lot to say about a lot of different characters in here because there's so many heroes. The couple things that we rarely, because I've been on a couple shows that talked about this. The Narns are on a human station and throw themselves at a breaching pod. Just rush it.
Yeah.
There is Hiroshi, who throws herself right into the middle of battle, loses, and then turns her ship into a missile. People everywhere that were just this. Can't remember how many awards this episode won.
Well, it deserves it. They go gulp. That's what it is. They go gulp.
Let's also remember.
Okay, well, I mean, if you don't know the reference, it's an Atlas Shrugged. So it's people going completely 100% against the grain on purpose, knowing they are in the right. They're on the quote unquote, to use popular vernacular, on the right side of history. But it's true. They end up being very successful in this episode. And I particularly, I love how Delenn handles herself because she's essentially going toe to toe with all the people who probably most her life talked down to her in one way or another. And she's like, you're wrong, and I know you're wrong, and I'm going to go prove you wrong. So.
Right there, she's standing in a group of cowards, and she faced him down.
Exactly. And I appreciate the Dagny Taggartness of Delenn very much.
The thing we got to remember is Ivanova, like fucking Sheridan yelling at her, eject! Eject! Just eject her. Yeah.
But even before that, she just goes like, John, like she didn't say this, she's actually very formal and professional, but you can tell on her face, she's like, I'm doing this whether you like it or not. Stop playing Big Brother. I'm fucking doing this. And he just looks at her like, I know, but if you die, I'm going to bring you back to life and I'll kill you again. And their sibling relationship is just so much fun to me.
But it's also the logic
right there.
Yeah, it was the logic of the situation because
I'm not
Sheridan had
illogical.
to realize that his place was in CNC, and so he had to be reminded of that. So.
Well, there's also, you think of all these fighters, you're told, and how many of them are going to listen to commands from the higher-ups or listen to commands for their immediate commanding officer. And she was right. Someone who represents their local leadership has to be there and put their life on the line just like them.
I want to quickly interject quickly. Tickle Trunk, you have to go because you have a migraine kick.
Yeah, my migraine's getting really bad. I'm gonna go lay down.
I will say, check on that stuff. I deal from when I get migraines, they last like 24 to 72 hours. This shit kills it in 20 minutes. Look into it. It's a dissolvable. But like, I appreciate your time. Have a great day. And honestly, you changed it back to Spoopy, you fucking prick.
I did.
You did. Have a great day. Everyone give Tickle Trunk a little send off goodbye. See you next week. Take it easy, brother. Thank you.
Take care, man.
Have a good night, everyone. I'm gonna keep listening on make the stream really quiet. Bye.
Bye, dude. That's what I'm saying. This episode and last episode was literally a two-parter.
It is. They, if they were, I hope they can get a writing down this well and well of a flow, because people will inevitably this day and age binge watch whatever they make, even if it's aired weekly, which I suppose they will do. But that's a good thing to keep in their back pocket, is the ability to make things flow.
That is one thing that made me a little bit nervous watching JMS's Twitter.
Mm.
He tries to get good writers, but when anyone says diverse instead of the best, it makes me worried.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I understand.
I would like to quickly say that my panel is the bestest and stunningest ever.
Well, I mean, I know I am, so.
At least someone accepts it. All right.
You guys are incredible. I mean, seriously, you guys are incredible. Considering, when we first started this,
it was,
I'm pretty sure quite a lot of you were unsure. So to have.
Mm-hmm. I was very difficult to sell on this. And
well,
I'm okay with that.
You've even said, Kate, you weren't a sci-fi person. So
no, I'm really not. Like my idea of sci-fi is like Third Rock from the Sun, which is a great show, but it's not like normal sci-fi. It's lowbrow humor and like lowbrow, very well written humor.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for sticking through. Like, honestly, not someone says, Steven is all our diversity in one person. Go fuck yourself.
Is he a rainbow?
Diversity is massive.
Yeah. When I sleep, people try to taste it. Sorry, that was weird.
Why would you do it when you're sleeping? That sounds really bad.
I don't know. I dressed up like a Charms guy.
I'm concerned about your well-being.
No. Consent matters, Steven.
Just like your consent to time matters?
I am a
you come back with work. There we go. Look, off mic. There you go. Honestly, honestly, we're gonna do this more. Kate, I can respect for just giving us a chance. Memes too. Memes was the type of guy like we had to sell it off like it. Who's playing Xbox?
Sorry.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you playing Fortnite?
Monkey is one of those people that he never watches himself back.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know what I saw.
But memes we actually had to sell, right? And when we started saying that the Expanse was kind of inspired from Babylon 5, he was hooked. And look at the smile on this guy's face. He has enjoyed coming back every time, keeping his continuity when it comes to being late. But he has always had a smile on when talking about this show. And with memes, there's a few things that keep him in this stature. And I respect that, Kate, too. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to dedicate a show or provide a show to take a chance on where it actually makes people think. And even in the chat, even like the way we're doing it now, like, I can't say thank you enough for even giving us the respect. Yeah, there it is, Keith with his books. Hold on, Keith. I'll blow you up like a porn star pinup. There you go.
Ew. That's a pretty cover. I like that layout.
This is one of two post-Babylon 5 stories that J. Michael Straczynski put together. And I have both of them. I just got to locate the other one. Yeah. But these are actual stories that he wrote. So this is in issue...
Please don't ruin that magazine.
Oh, I won't.
Yeah. I trust them. I'm already seeing the corners bent, and I'm like,
this is an old magazine, man.
I still want to punch you, bro, because I'm like getting my balls tightened.
That's really cool.
This is, here it is. Here's the actual story.
Oh, fun.
Look at the artwork, too. Like, people actually cared.
Well,
the photos.
This is an important magazine in the history of science fiction because this is amazing stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like a TV show?
Like the pulp.
Amazing Stories actually started out as an actual magazine, and was one of the first. And the history of Amazing Stories. This is one of those books that J. Michael Straczynski on purpose made it a point to write this for this magazine. And Wow.
sorry,
Okay.
Keith. You know,
Are you
you know
implying
that's
it's
your
not? I'm so confused.
What? No comment.
And
But
also,
here's
like,
a list of all of the Babylon 5 books of that time, including one that I had forgotten that Neil Gaiman had written based on the episode that he had written, I should say, of Babylon 5. But this is a 5th season episode. But, yeah.
So what you're telling me is when I asked for a giant omnibus of all the Babylon everything, that probably should be a thing, even if it's very, very expensive. Because this stuff is everywhere and deserves to be printed in one place.
Yeah, I don't know if they ultimately ended up retrieving this story and the other one for any kind of omnibus. I'm hoping that after all these years they did, because both stories, if you want to be a completist and you want to find out what happens after the final episode of Babylon 5, you're going to want those stories. Especially the other story. Because the other story, trust me, you're gonna want that. So
you know, Keith, you can be mad at me. I had both of those at one time. And I have no idea where they are now.
Well,
long gone, forgotten in the garbage, or left in the move, or I have no idea. But I had them both.
They were written. They were written for a sci-fi magazine. I know this one was for Amazing Stories, and the other one was written for a different magazine. I had to go out and I was lucky enough to find both, and I had to read them because it's just like, oh, what happens? What happens?
Yep.
Here, I can sum up when Adega and Keith have a Babylon 5 crotch fight. It's pretty much this face.
There it is.
Oh my god, he got micromachines. Oh my god, he got signed cards. Oh my god.
Well, look,
the eyes roll back and I'm still satisfied.
As I said before the show, I have a few of these Babylon 5 magazines, but I can't show you all the covers because they give away too much plot. So I can only show you these two.
And in relation to the one cover Keith is on with Lita, I am going to reach out to her later on to have her come back on because I would love just to have her talk with us, not as an actress, but just as a human being. Because honestly, I think a lot of them just need the credit of being listened to. That they aren't getting as much. Yeah.
Yep, I had those too.
Oh, look, when Batman was still non-political. Look at that shit. Look at that Batman. Look at those abs. All right. And Kira Nuri. Oh, my God.
The plaid's kind of weird, but okay. It was the 90s.
Yep. I had those too.
Like that. Oh, yeah, I have plaid. I live in Minnesota. It's normal, but like that's not the best drawing, is all.
I remember what happened to them now.
Oh, no.
When I was in school, college, money was tight. And it was time to open up a practice. The whole lot.
Oh, you pulled a Walter White.
I had beta. Here's for people who play cards. I had beta and alpha, a massive set of magic cards. Sold those to my buddy.
Those are the CDs.
No way.
Yeah,
those are all the music CDs because they kept releasing them, and they did all this.
The shadow picture on the inside cover, front inside, like right away. That one's that's cool. That'd be a really cool poster.
That shadow, yeah, like you're never
that'd
gonna
be
get
such a
something
cool
like that.
poster.
Wait a second, isn't it
there's
coming out of the
two.
wrong side? Because they come at you like a face hugger. Coming out of the back side.
Let's just see if I can get some of the CDs. Oh yeah, the 2 volumes. I have those on the CD.
But here we go.
Nice.
And speaking of Star Furies, remember that after that whole battle defending Star Furies that still survived were given the Babylon 5 after a loss.
Yeah.
All Hiroshi's fighters.
At that point, it was weird to a lot of people also seeing that Membari warships for stepping up to protect Babylon 5. There is only one man who has ever survived a Minbari assault, and he is behind me. You are in front of me. And right then and there, Earth is like, I'm a pussy. I'm out. And they fucking took out.
Can't blame that. This is the Leonard we're talking about here.
Yes, yes, that's true.
That is such a great line. It's like, and he's behind me.
That also was a turning point, not a turning point, but a sign point of Delenn's love for Sheridan, because eventually you see them on the command deck, and you see the admiration between not only two races, but between two souls. And that's a lot of people who like seeing unrequited love or subliminal love stories within
Well, that's
shows.
not unrequited. That's just very gradual.
It's unrequited
very
because they
subtle-
haven't voiced it.
Well, no, that doesn't make it unrequited. It's just very subtle and gradual and a very natural story.
Mm-hmm.
So that's totally different than unrequited. That just means it's not returned. And it's totally returned. Obviously, they just haven't said it.
I always wanted to get a jacket with all those badges on it.
Black Dragon says, I still have 2 of the CDs, the best of and volume 2 Messages of Earth.
Oh.
And Bruce and anyone else from the cast, if you're listening in the future, you are welcome. Just DM me on Twitter.
Whoops.
We would love to have you on. I can't pay much, but the people here would appreciate your time and voice. Hashtag butt kissing.
Not too much more I could show you without spoiling anything.
Then don't, bro. Keep it
Well,
going.
halfway
Hey,
through the
look how
series.
happy Keith is. Keith is like, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to actually talk.
We're getting there. We're getting. Well, I also love the sheer fact that basically every time that Sheridan goes into a battle, it reminds me of like a battle of Dungeons and Dragons. Just like, all right, we have these. These are our resources. These are our forces. These are our strengths. Here is the terrain. Here's what we're going to do here. If this happens, we're going to do this. I'm like, wow, this reminds me like pretty much every time we went to go fight large armies and or some of my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Happens.
Sheridan is the
But then he
DM
gets
of
the
the group.
curveballs because he rolled a 1. And
Oh,
Ivanova's like, no, fuck you, I'm
20.
out.
It's like you roll in there, you say something that's so blatantly true, and you got the firepower to back it up, and you said such a convincing way. Delenn rolls a 20. Perfectly.
Jester of Sin, not only a member and mod and friend, says the moment where Delenn says be somewhere else shivers every time.
Definitely.
Actually, my favorite Delenn line, there's 2 of them. And one is that one, and the other one is
shake it like it's hot.
Not quite. The other one is a line that she says in the 5th season that I can't repeat because
No, you can't.
So
why are there socks in the bathroom?
Oranges, nothing but oranges. But I want to relate this as an honest question. I probably might say this in a different form every week. This goes to the chat as well as the panel. When was the last time you talked about a show in recent date that didn't make you feel like you were at a bar, a pub with friends, just water cooling it? That's the specialty about this show and other shows, especially from the 90s or anything like that, 60s Star Trek original series or whatever. Those are the moments a lot of people cherish, and that's why a lot of people are very apprehensive with reboots, remakes, and rehashes. It's because they don't want the soul of what they love tarnished. It doesn't mean they're going to be tarnished because we still have the past stuff. But if we close the doors to everything, we're never going to experience the love that it could be continued.
Don't let the darkness consume you fully.
Especially when you have a Timex.
Exactly.
Hello, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Your move.
Yeah, that's me. He's a Yu-Gi-Oh.
You didn't
notice?
Moro.
Carter Calling Cookie says, Steven, once we finish season 5, there is so much that we can show about without being worried about spoilers. I agree. And we will have that episode where we can just vent everything. And that show is going to be one of those party times. PART. Why? Because we're fans.
And we can.
That's true.
Oh, he's got some glare.
It's so close, and it's just we're getting. I can't wait for those episodes. We're just. It's like you've seen Keith evolve over the weeks when we're getting closer and closer to shit he wants to talk about, and you see the smile in his face, and you know it's just
It's
when you
Christmas.
reach that. Dang it, you're this. Yeah, same with you, Dang it. It's like opening that present and finally getting that Nintendo or PS5, whatever you want, because it makes you feel like holding your tongue was worthwhile to talk about, and you don't want to ruin it for people.
You're gonna love it.
Exactly. Is that Darius whispering?
I think that's Keith.
Oh,
That was Keith.
That's Keith.
All right.
He's super excited and super serious.
He is. He's like a kid at a candy store, but he has diabetes.
That's horrible.
He almost fell out of the chair. I almost got it. But I want to announce this now for Tuesdays. I'm thinking of a new show for Tuesdays like this, and I think Red Dwarf would be a good one.
What's that?
I loved Red Dwarf.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh my God, Kate. Picture Babylon 5, but satirically British. But you're on a spaceship, and it's just
The guy with the cat.
Yep, the evolved cat.
That was the Stalker Keith, his awesome one, as he blows kisses and love to you. Tigo Trunk still in the chat saying there's so much we can talk about for each. Exactly. And the fact that we've been trying so hard, keeping it silent, keeping it on a sub-level basement, it has been fantastic. And Darius, honestly, man, if you have anything to add it, because you are a first-time viewer, and I guess, are you addicted to the show the way we've been describing it?
I've been enjoying it. That's definitely a fact. And I'm excited to pretty much rewatch it every year from now. That's my plan.
That's a good plan. Because it helps realize that creativity still exists, even if it's like 20 years ago.
Did you ever, Steven, did you ever show everyone the box set that they came out with? Babylon 5, the complete box set that they came out with.
There's a lot of people selling it on Facebook Marketplace you can get for cheap, but no, I have not seen it. But like
The picture I showed you guys?
Yeah.
That thing was huge.
That thing was big, and it's everything in one box set.
Is it a metal box set fancy schmancy thing?
No, this was a blue box that when you open it up, it's got the Babylon 5 space station, but it has the complete 5-year story arc along with all of the movies.
Okay.
And also the Legend of the Rangers and the Lost Tales and
So they're basically missing short stories from that and Crusade.
No, Crusade was in it. Crusade's in it. It's
So-
the complete
so all the short
5-year
stories are okay.
Yeah, it's the complete 5-year story arc, Crusade,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of the movies.
I have it in digital. I have it in digital format. Yes, even came with the soundtracks.
Oh wow!
That was what was included. I was trying to identify what that was.
Yeah,
because I couldn't identify that last little bit, and that was the complete soundtrack along with all the special features from all of the stuff, and it's in one big box.
And they just need to make it a slightly bigger and add the short stories, comics, and novels, and they'll be set.
But that's it.
And
That's
charge
it. Like,
$500 more. It'll be good.
But Kate, you have a brilliant point when it comes to that, and I want to bring this up. The way, remember how we have BBC right now, where they have found like the not finished tales with Doctor Who stories, or they can't find the originals to actually remaster them or fix them up. They've gone to animated. Who says in the future they won't animate those lost tales or those stories?
That'd be cool.
Can you imagine a motion comic of the Babylon 5 comics?
There's one particular story that once you finish the show,
your heart jumps.
You'll be sad for having finished the show, but this one short story is going to bring a smile to your face.
Okay, question for you. Does it have to deal with a space station, or does it have to deal with someone we know and love with red hair doing something quite heroic?
No. This story...
okay, now I know where you're at.
Yeah. This story is with someone who... it's popsicle time, and that's all I have to say about it. That's all I can say.
Let's say this. When we are done with Babylon 5 before we go on to Crusade, we will dedicate an episode to that story.
Yeah.
Keith will be the John Madden of that episode. Along with a dagger, because a dagger I know right now is looking through Google going, do I have this in my collection?
A fine addition to my collection.
Yes.
The word unrequited comes up with this story, but it's, yeah, it is a really well done story.
Archer Collins says that Keith, space, time, and pretzels. Yes. The key story from Doctor Who would be great completed. Well, that's it. They have to just get rid of anything that says Jodie in it.
Or Chibnall.
Fuck chin balls. Fuck chin balls at this point.
That's, the thing is, what has me excited about the new Babylon 5 that JMS is working on is I'm hoping he also gets the opportunity to do more of what he had done the first time around with books and comics and everything, to just tie everything together in a really nice way. Because, again, as I said when we first started all of this, I cannot think of any property that has done as much as what they have done with Babylon 5 and making sure that everything ties together. Every book that was put out there is canon. Mm-hmm. Even the books that are based on episodes you may have seen, you should probably read again, because they went ahead and just stuffed that book filled with stuff that you can get into, research, go down the rabbit hole. It all ties together.
And see, that's something I got to ask you too, because I know you've read what I've read, and I don't know if I've read more or it's about the same.
You've probably read more than I have.
I have yet to find any incongruency at all.
Yeah.
That B5 Bible is tight, and they stuck
to it.
Oh,
my God. The Encyclopedia is really what I want. I want the Babylon 5 Encyclopedia. The 2-volume leather-bound editions. Oh, God, that... Oh, jeez.
Wait.
I'm surprised it's only 2 volumes and not, 5.
They come in encyclopedias now?
They put out these encyclopedias 2 years ago or a year ago? Oh, yeah, there it is. Signed by J. Michael Straczynski.
Fancy.
They had all the ladies of Babylon 5 do a video talking about the encyclopedias. They were all on a couch together just laughing and... Yeah.
Yeah, I had early access to pick one of those up, and I didn't. And I should have. I was real happy when I got my across time and space and artifacts from Beyond the Rim, which are really difficult to find now, from what I understand.
A lot of that stuff's really difficult to find. I mean, that's the only downside about everybody becoming fans now, because it's just like JMS said. It's like, once it's gone, it's gone. And he meant it, but that doesn't mean you can't come back later for the new stuff and have new stuff.
Right, because every week when you see... Oh, you've seen this one. But this is the one where you're quoting what time of year and everything. This tells all of that, plus it ties in all the other stories that are happening at the same time. It's a big thing.
I know that they had the DC Comics put out the full comic book run that they had. So that's something that I had a copy of the complete DC Comics run in my hand. There was a couple guys that were closing up their comic book store, and they had these massive bins of comics.
Hold on.
I mean, just all over this entire place.
Keith, you do have a birthday coming up, Keith, says Das Wolfman.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Get him the books, then buy my merch. Then
Oh, no, I did that.
You mean this, Keith?
Hold on. There's a Dagger whipping it out.
That, yes, but also it wasn't just those. It was everything that DC had done, but they had bound them. It was a bound edition, and I set it down in the middle of this place, and I wasn't able to find it again.
Oh no!
It was probably sold.
No, it wasn't sold. But no, I mean, I was still there. I set it down because somebody had said they had found a particular comic I'd been looking for years, and it might be signed. They wanted me to come over and look at it, and so I had lifted up the book, but I didn't pull it out. So I set it back down, and I couldn't find where I was again to be able to get it. Oh, it haunts me. It haunts me.
The shadows took it.
Steven, is that yours, or is that a recommendation?
They know what
That's
Keith
the
wants.
image I got off the internet.
Yes.
I just wanted to show the cover and the texture as well as they actually put the
Embossedness.
yeah.
That is nice.
When you get those limited editions like that, they're top quality. I mean, serious top quality.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that, and I gotta say, I mean, for a show that's been off the air quite a while, for them to have put as much time into that, to be able to create that is amazing. Yeah, that. Oh, geez. Yeah, it is. It's amazing to just see all of that. But you know,
well, you got something new to collect in a couple years when the new one starts coming out.
I just think that get it for Keith's birthday. We'll make it GoFundMe just to get Keith that book.
No, you
Just
don't have
so he
to.
can rubber it all over himself.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I think somebody I know already has that lined up for me. So I wasn't supposed to know though.
Well, I hope you're not disappointed.
You're gonna be like, I'm so excited. And thank you. I didn't know this was happening, but
Keith is my spirit animal, says the body below.
And I tell you, one thing I have been attempting to do was for a while there, I was also collecting a lot of the patches for Babylon 5. So I have quite a few of the patches, but not. I have a lot of the ones that they wear in the Earth Force uniform, but I don't have a lot of the patches for a lot of the separate fighter squadrons. I'm still looking for those. And there's a few people that sell that stuff that do it at conventions that you can still find a lot of that stuff out there. Should be easier now that there's a new show on the way.
But I would say look for it now before that show gains popularity and you're paying up the ass.
Right, because everything's going to go up. All this old stuff.
I just flipped something into the chat from YouTube, and that's a video.
You can post it in the chat. You are a mod, aren't you? You can actually post it for people to look after the show.
After the show, yes. Actually, I don't think I can post it right now in the chat. Hold on.
You should have been a mod. Where are you? Say something, Keith, and I'll just tag you.
Something, Keith.
Dad jokes.
Well, he's the dad, so, give him a break.
I got a book as soon as I got a kid. They gave me a book of dad jokes. What can I say?
Oh, my God.
That's the only thing they really give you.
Oh.
And much to my kids' chagrin, I not only used all those jokes, I made up a few of my own. So,
so they got worse.
Oh, yeah.
They got extra dad.
That's the whole thing about being a parent. You get to embarrass your kids every once in a while.
Yep.
Every once in a while, I make it a routine. I'm like, okay, I'm off work. Time to go embarrass the high school. I'm out. I would drop by like dressed as like a T-Rex inflatable costume and be like, you guys hear about Star Trek? Let me tell you about the T-Rex.
They're my kids. Hi, guys. Wear a clown uniform.
Dude,
Did you get all your homework?
Okay, serious question, Keith. Did
Yeah.
you wear Zumbas in public? Yeah, my dad's got you beat. 100%, he's got you beat. I have a very distinct memory of going to the convenience store with my dad and little brother, and my dad was wearing Zumbas. He nudges my brother and I in front of him because teenagers were giving him a hard time. He turns around, flips him off, and as I'm making sure my brother doesn't get hit by a fucking car, because at this point we're little kids and I'm taller than him, and I turn around and see my dad flipping off teenagers. Yeah, he's got you beat.
Are those like Crocs?
With socks.
They might as well have been.
Ursula quickly says, Steven, all people back in school wearing B5 and EA patches, and I was the only one wearing Cyclops. Oh.
A man of culture, I see.
Psychor? You want to see Psychor? I won't do it this time.
Go for it.
That's okay.
Let me see.
Now,
I think it's a spoiler thing.
No, you guys have seen it several times already.
all right. I know.
How about some ratings?
I know Keith has to get going, and we should start wrapping up very shortly. So I wanted to say, what was your guys' rating on this episode for Severed Dreams? We
10.
got a lot.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead. Don't apologize. Go ahead, dig it. Go ahead.
9.
Okay. Kate?
9, almost 10. 9.5.
Damn. What about you, Memes?
We're gonna go. I feel like when I watched it, it was a 10, and now that I've continued on, I have to give it like a 9.65.
Next on, Darius, our guest for today.
Best episode in a series out of 10.
All
That
right.
is my
What about-
rating.
All right, I'll accept it. What about you, Adega?
10. I blurted it out. It's a 10. Probably, well, considering it's won so many awards, and it was up there for the best of the season. So, yeah, 10.
And, of course, Monkey Jeebus, who's currently killing 12-year-olds in Fortnite. How are you?
No, I'm not.
I just wanted to fuck with you a little bit. No, I'm
9.
not.
I wasn't last time. I was just texting people, but I was just like, oh, that's funnier.
Get that Fortnite skin, buddy? Yeah, I did, buddy. 9. And with me, I will definitely give it an 8.9, just because I can't make everything perfect, because then the other episodes will just feel,
It's so hard. It's so
You can
hard.
give
When I
more
watch it
than
another
one
time, I'm like,
10.
this is a 10. It's a effing 10.
It's
and
too
then I watch
good.
further, and I'm like, oh dear. I also haven't watched it in like a few weeks.
We've hit 2 great episodes. We can technically call it a fucking 2-hour episode at this point. It was that good. But we're forgetting one thing. This is the point where Babylon 5 is no longer part of EarthGov, but a station on itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the backing of the Membari.
Mm-hmm. It is sovereign.
It
with
is
an ally.
Yeah. It is on the road to something greater that's not just of one planet, but of many planets. And the whole pretense of it was to have races being together and work together. And this is the first step. This is the evolution of peace and understanding of races. And I can't wait to see more and share more of that journey as we cover more episodes.
Yeah, the Membari wanted it to remain within their grasp anyway, because they paid for over half of that one.
That's the other thing about Earth Force trying to, basically tell Delenn what to do, because technically, the Membari basically footed the bill for more than half of it. So
Yep. More so than the other ones.
I think we're going to wrap up so people can go have dinner. I can drink some more water and have some dinner. But I want to thank my panel. I want to give a special shout out to Darius for joining us today, and hope that
thank you, Darius.
Hey, Darius.
Thanks for letting me be on here, man. It
I
was
would
great.
like the chat to give it a bunch of applause for Darius, not trying to single him out, but make him feel like he had a good time. I hope you had a good time with us.
It was a great time.
Secretly, don't tell anyone you did better than your mother.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, she's listening.
Dude,
shots have been fired.
I know she's right there.
Yeah, I didn't eat it. No, I'm not getting no fries tonight.
Oh, your mom was on. I kind of remember that.
Who's getting fries?
Oh, God.
I'm confused. What's going on?
Everyone, this has been a successful stream. We're going to do more of this, whether on YouTube or Twitch. It has worked fantastic. I hope everyone's had a great time. Members, subscribers, viewers lurking in the back or not, hate watchers too. Thank you for your time, your algorithm support.
Hate
and
watchers.
with that, remember, get your mumberries out. And here comes...
Tell your mom Keith said hi.
Wow, Keith, you really come out of your shell.
I will, don't worry.
Remember,
Oh, you're welcome, man.
You got the car?
Yeah, I'll run the car.
You all got cars. All cars. Yeah, you go.
Y'all have a great night, everybody.
I'm a shitty walk. You're like.
Oh, the music's different.
Oh yeah, Sheridan doesn't wear his uniform anymore.
Wait, it's naked?
Only for the Delenn.
Does he have a body pillow?
And remember, episodes 11 and 12 next week. Stay tuned, stay happy, and always be a little selfish for yourself. As you wake up and go to sleep with yourself every night, make sure that person's happy first.
Or else Psychor will know.
In leanest day and fattest night.
Adega's gonna get punched right in the taint. Wait, that doesn't rhyme. Fuck.
Taint that a shame.
Isn't that at Zahadun?
Ah. What is this? Trigger going in the middle. What is this? Did you upgrade your membership, you bastard? Thank you, Tickle.
Why is that not called Refrigerator Raider?
I don't know. I'll figure out later. Thank you, members. Thank you, channel supporters. Thank you, panel. Thank you, friends.